is Wednesday, April 21. Welcome to CGN News. The United Nations is seeking $29.2 million to help St. Vincent recover from ongoing volcanic eruptions that have destroyed homes and crops, contaminated water supplies, and displaced citizens. Didier Trebuch, the UN resident coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, described the scene as apocalyptic during an online press conference in St. Vincent. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves said officials are still quantifying the damage, but that rebuilding will run, quote, in the hundreds of millions of dollars, end quote. Food, water, and ash removal remain high priorities as neighboring nations and organizations pour supplies and funding into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The U.S. State Department has issued a Level 3 travel advisory for Jamaica, urging citizens to reconsider travel to the country due to COVID-19 and crime. The State Department also pointed to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, issuance of a Level 4 travel health notice for Jamaica earlier this month due to COVID-19. Level 4 means that travelers to Jamaica have a very high possibility of contracting the virus. Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines were also included in the travel advisory update, along with a number of other countries. Senior strategist in the Tourism Ministry, Delano Seavright, said the CDC alert had not discouraged persons from traveling to Jamaica. Yesterday's jurors found former police officer Derek Chauvin guilty on all counts in the murder of George Floyd. Chauvin, 45, was found guilty of second and third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. The judge told Chauvin to report back in 8 weeks for sentencing. U.S. President Joe Biden says the conviction can be a giant step forward in the march toward justice in America. In a phone call with Floyd's family after the verdict was announced, Biden was heard saying, quote, "At least now there is some justice," end quote. Sentencing is likely to happen in 2 months, and Chauvin could spend decades in jail. He is expected to appeal against the verdict. The video of George Floyd's murder went viral. The European Medicines Agency, the EMA, said it had found a possible link between the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine and blood clots. The EU's drugs regulator suggested that blood clots should be listed as a very rare side effect of the vaccine. But the EMA says the benefits of the COVID-19 vaccine outweigh the risks. Last week, the EU, the US, and South Africa paused the implementation of the Johnson & Johnson jab in response to the reports of rare blood clotting. Of the more than 7 million people who have received the jab in the US, 8 people developed rare blood clots, including 1 person who died. Problems that have delayed AstraZeneca supplies to the COVAX vaccine sharing facility have reportedly been resolved. UNICEF on Tuesday told Reuters COVAX should receive 65 million doses from manufacturers outside India by the end of May. The implementation has been disrupted by supply shortfalls, aggravated by a temporary hold on exports of the inoculation made by the Serum Institute of India, the SII, as the country battles to contain a surge in infections. UNICEF said COVAX is also holding talks with New Delhi for the SII to resume supplies of the vaccine. It anticipates receiving 50 million doses next month from the SII, compared with almost none this month. TikTok is facing legal challenges from former Children's Commissioner for England, Anne Longfield, over how it collects and uses children's data. The claim is being filed on behalf of millions of children in the UK and EU who have used the hugely popular video sharing app. Longfield alleges the firm is a data collection service that is thinly veiled as a social network, which has deliberately deceived parents. The case is being represented by law firm Scott & Scott. Partner Tom Southwell said he believed the information collected by TikTok represents, quote, a severe breach of UK and EU data protection law, end quote. TikTok said the case was without merit and it would fight it. Indonesia has launched search efforts for a Navy submarine that has gone missing, officials say. It was taking part in a training exercise in waters north of the island of Bali, but failed to relay results as expected. The country's military chief told Reuters news agency that 53 people were on board the vessel. Officials have called on Australia and Singapore to help in the search, according to Reuters. Defense officials from the two countries have not yet commented. Local media reports said the submarine was thought to have disappeared in waters about 60 miles off the coast of Bali early on Wednesday morning. And finally, the police in St. Vincent have taken into custody a man who climbed the erupting La Soufrière volcano on Sunday and recorded himself and another hiker. The tour guide uploaded his adventure on YouTube. Lava Man, as he is now being called, went up to the summit of the volcano, maskless, and paused to take selfies at the smoldering crater while describing the scene. It is unclear what charges can be laid since there are no ordinances preventing the climbing of the La Soufrière, which has produced at least 30 explosive eruptions since April 9. The actions were described as dottish by Professor Richard Robertson, leader of the team monitoring the volcano and advising the government. Quote, "I have personally told you that what you are doing is quite simply mad," end quote, Robertson stated. The video was filmed on Sunday, and hours later the volcano was rocked by an explosive eruption. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.